Welcome back. Certainly, last but not least by a long shot, is a fellow who has a great history, both being from here in Utah and being a part of the ski community ever since he was a little kid. He comes from a fantastic ski family, but also here at Park City Television. He was a guest on the Mountain Views program that I have hosted for 7 years now. Just about when I very first started. Curtis Ray, formerly of ABC4, and Marcus Caston came for a visit. Our pal Emily Monch, who is now with the Governor's Office of Economic Development, but was at Snowbird for many years. These are people that I remember from my earliest days, and I can't help but smile at the thought of what a wonderful time it's been, and it makes it all the richer to be able to introduce to you all, once again, my pal and Warren Miller stalwart, Marcus Caston. Hi, buddy. How are you, man?
Good to see you, Terry.
It's great to see you, too,
I was thinking about that on the way up. It's like,
it
puts a smile on my face thinking about Curtis and Emily.
Yeah, good people and good times.
Totally. I can't remember the last time I wore human clothes on here.
That's right. You're dressed exceedingly normally, probably since before last year's Warren Miller film when you were here. And of course, on behalf of your sponsors, you want to put the best foot forward, as it were. But anybody who knows Marcus Caston knows that there is much more than the corporate skier behind the facade, right?
Yeah.
How you doing, man? What number film is this for you?
This is like 5 or 6, maybe.
Congrats.
Which is kind of crazy. It just seems like yesterday. You know, when I was listening to you talk to Jim there, and my first Warren Miller film was also in Alaska, and it is so stressful. That whole, like, not only just the first film, but that environment of Alaska and being so out of your element. I'm glad that's behind me. I'm glad you've got to experience that, because it's really funny in a way looking back. But,
sure. But you do it, you take the honor, you get through it, and you go to another level by being around those kind of people. I mean, it has to be, especially after the number of years that you've been doing it, that you get to look around and say, look at the talent, look at the best equipment in the world for this type of filming, for these kind of conditions. Talk about your part this year.
Well, totally. And so this year I got to go to Engelberg, Switzerland. So a little bit different than like the backcountry flying around helicopters in Alaska.
Right.
It's a resort, and it's but it's Europe, so the lifts kind of take you anywhere, and there's no. Oh yeah, there we go. So, but there's no rules. You know, there's no inbounds, out of bounds. So you're still like kind of on your own.
Interesting.
But at the end of the day, you go down to the village and eat a big plate of cheese and have a wine or two, and it's like my experience this year was just so much different than listening to Jim's experience of and remembering my first Alaskan experience where I just wanted to throw up all the time because I was so scared, and now I'm like, all right, I'm happy that's behind me.
You know how to do this.
Yeah, let's do some cheese and wine.
Right.
This is more my speed now.
It's a great example of different ways to enjoy skiing. And of course, I mean, even in just the time that I've been around these parts, backcountry skiing has grown tremendously. And, folks are doing things like going to TGR and getting education and being really serious about backcountry. But you make a great point, and that is that here we are in Park City. It's Resort Central, where the skiing's great, but also the fact that you're in an environment that you're not out in the middle of nowhere. You're not getting to your spots by helicopter and that kind of thing. Talk about what that's like, how that affects maybe your preparation of there being more activity around when you're getting ready to go film.
Well, to me, there's so much more to skiing than just actually skiing. It's so cool to get to travel around to these places, and I love mountains, and it's great to like fly around the mountains in a helicopter, but it's also great to experience community, and every community around the world has, their own little quirks or whatever, but ultimately there's always this underlying thing that's the same. It's like you can go to any ski town in the world and you feel comfortable there, and I think that's pretty cool.
It's kind of normalizing when it's pretty unusual, big production. It's an unusual experience. Did people know, is there a buzz when you're, like you say, when you're at the resort base? Do folks know when they're there for a ski vacation that there's something really, really important going on in terms of you guys being there and filming and just the scale and the scope of it?
Sure, but maybe they have an idea or they hear that you're out there, but we're a small crew. I mean, 1 or 2 filmers, a photographer, and 2 skiers. Like we're pretty quiet. Yeah, I don't think our friends will give us a bunch of crap for it.
Sure.
They're buzzing by and hooting and hollering, and we're standing around making movies, but.
It occurs to me that, as I look at the lineup of amazing skiers in this year's film, and I'm thinking of our pal Steve Nyman and a lot of other people that are a part of this ski world here, and I imagine that like there's a big hotel where everybody that's in the Warren Miller film is staying in, right? Like it's like high school, everybody's hanging together. But as you point out, it's a really different deal. Is this, I suppose, is this PR tour kind of the place where you get together with your fellow skiers and kind of talk shop and tell stories of crazy stuff that happened that maybe might not make the morning show,
exactly,
or things like that?
Exactly. So like, Jim and Dash were off in Alaska, and I was in Switzerland, and Kaylin's in Canada. So we're not together doing that, So this is really neat to go on tour, and you get to meet everybody. And, there's a lot of people that are in this film that I have never met either, so that's really cool. That's kind of the neatest thing for me about being in the film now, is getting to just be around all these amazing athletes, and they all have amazing stories.
Indeed. What's up next for you?
Well,
besides a continuing tour, and you're going to promote this film for a while now. How long does the tour run to, and then what's happening this winter?
So we're going to travel around for about a month or so, and then I usually find myself in Colorado, try to go to the Beaver Creek World Cup, and I'm going to try to go to the Killington World Cup. They're the only 2 World Cup ski races on American soil. As a skier, it's important to be there.
And you were a ski racer when you were young, so
right. But if you're a skier, it's important to, be there for our fellow skiers. So
for sure,
go do that, and then I don't know, see where it starts snowing, I guess. Then start skiing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's always lovely to see you. I appreciate you supporting Park City Television. You have been a great supporter over the years, and we're so proud of the career that you've crafted. I remember talking with your parents and your dad, especially last year at the premiere here in Utah, and your dad talking about how proud he is of you for making this choice to create a career where it's not an easy peasy thing. It's not go to law school and get a job in a firm or become a clerk and do that thing. You've had to make it up on your own, as have all of our other guests this morning. And it's a real testament to your, I think more than anything, for your love of the sport. And that's inspiring to me, just like it is every other skier who watches the film.
Oh, well, thank you. Well,
absolutely, buddy.
I don't have very many skills. So skiing's kind of all I got. So.
Well, I think there's a spot for you in the world of comedy, Marcus, if you ever choose to devote yourself full time. So.
Well, thank you, Terry. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, my brother. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you at the premiere.
Yeah.
And Warren Miller, Face of Winter, the 69th, and we're going to do a giveaway, and we're going to share all of the details with you so you can hook up tickets and join us. I'm pretty sure it's a Bravenel Hall again this year, but we'll get all of the details correct, and after we come back, tune you up with all of that after this. Stay tuned.